First Shannon Sharp, and now we have accusations against the legendary Smokey Robinson. Now this is off of CNN Entertainment. I just found out about this, and this is crazy with so much stuff that's started being revealed in 2024, and here we are in 2025. This is all allegedly. It's accusations. Smokey very well could be innocent. It's four women employees, and they're accusing him of assault, sexual assault. So let's go through the article. This is crazy. Like I said, first Shannon Sharp, now Smokey Robinson is getting accused. So let's scroll down so you all can basically get what's going on. Motown singing legend Smokey Robinson has been accused of sexual assault by four women, their former employees, and they filed a workplace harassment complaint Tuesday, May 6th, at a Los Angeles courthouse. So that was Tuesday, May 6th. They filed the harassment complaint against Smokey Robinson. So CNN, they've obtained the details, and these are allegations. The women are unnamed, so we don't know who they are, and they worked as housekeepers, okay, for Smokey and his wife at different times from 2006 to 2024, so just last year. So we got a run of 18 years, four different women accusers against Smokey Robinson. And they filed it Tuesday, May 6th at a LA courthouse. They're coming forward now with the accusations. All right, so let's continue. The complaint states the women were unwilling to report Robinson's alleged actions to authorities due to fear of losing their livelihoods, pay their bills, make a living, and didn't want to be publicly embarrassed just by, the crowd, I guess people, naysayers who might think they're lying, things like that. And, we'll see what happens. As well as being threatened and intimidated by Smokey's celebrity status and the influential people around him. So that's why they took so long to come forward with these accusations. Three of the four women are also worried about the possible adverse effect on her immigration status. Okay, so one of them is an immigrant, and I don't know if she's here legally or not. And so that's why she didn't want to come forward in fear of possibly being deported. I guess the other three are regular United States citizens. So you got that in effect with her not coming forward, I guess, around the time that she claims it happened. So, okay, that makes sense. So now let's keep going in the article so you all can see. In addition to the sexual assault allegations, the women want at least 50 million. That's the same amount that Gabriela Zuniga wants from Shannon Sharp in total damages for alleged actions including emotional distress, I've heard that one before, gender violence, hostile work environment, and several labor violations. And they reached out to Smokey's representatives for comment. John Harris is an attorney for the ladies, the plaintiffs, and on Tuesday, which was May 6th, said during a move, what's that say? Nope. During a news conference, I'm sorry, that the women referred to in the filing as Jane Doe because they are unnamed, 1 through 4, decided to sue to stand up for their rights against Smokey, as well as the rights of other women. Okay. So I don't know if any other accusations will come out, but these are the four we have for now. Harris added that the four plaintiffs want and demand justice for themselves, and that the filing of the lawsuit is the first step of their journey to achieve that objective. Okay. So this is definitely a bombshell against Smokey Robinson here. Just so much going on, and you all can read the rest of the article. You can see the website up here at the top, and it's basically CNN.com or wherever you get it. This isn't the only outlet that reported the accusations against Smokey. Again, it's innocent until proven guilty. They're seeking 50 million in damages, so it seems to only be a civil suit again, as is the case with Shannon Sharp, not a criminal lawsuit where Smokey Robinson would face jail time. So that's the two things we have going on with Shannon and Smokey. These are all only civil. They just want Smokey and Shannon to pay the money, and then that's it. No jail time. And again, people side eye that. When people accuse and only want money, they only do a civil and not a criminal. They start to think that maybe they're lying because you don't want this person in jail. And that could be true. But then also the opposite can be true where that person is guilty. But some people just don't want to see you in jail. They just want you to pay the money. I know it sounds crazy, but that's just the world we live in. No jail time, just pay me the money. And I know it's such a most people wouldn't expect Smokey Robinson to be involved in something like this. Let's see, how old is Smokey at this point in his career, in his life? I know he's over 80. Here we go. Yep, birthday passed, made 85 this year, born in 1940. Okay, February 19, 85. And so, at 85 years old, you definitely wouldn't expect to hear these accusations come out, but just so much stuff happens over time. And then, like you say, we don't know the names. They're all Jane Doe 1 through 4. And you all can see here the rest of the article, what's going on and what they accuse him of. Jane Doe 2 accuses Smokey of, yeah, sexually assaulting her at his home, and then the fact that they even accusing him of the R word, but just is seeking money. That's where people start to side eye you. Don't want this man in jail. You just want the money. And so we'll see how this plays out. The attorney is John Harris. And, hey, this is just add more fuel to the fire with these cases. As you all know, Puff Daddy's jury selection is underway right now. And they should have all 12 by May 12th so they can do the opening statements. And that's when I say the trial officially actually starts May 12th. They keep saying May 5th, but they're just selecting jurors right now. And, just crazy how much stuff is coming out and people getting the confidence to come forward after all of these years. Not sure if it's true or not. You just never know. But, of all people, Smokey Robinson. And we'll see if any more ladies come out against Shannon Sharp. That's 4 for Smokey, 2 for Shannon. So, yeah, it's crazy right now. And they want 50 million. Same as Gabrielle Zuniga, like I said, who's accusing Shannon Sharp. They want that $50 million mark. So, yep, they are seeking at least 50 million. So that's 200 million total, as well as punitive damages to be determined at trial. And hold on, what's a little bit more here? They didn't consent to Smokey's sexual contact or touching. And they say Smokey's wife, Frances Robinson, she's named as a co-defendant. So let's see what they accuse Mrs. Robinson of: failing to take the corrective action to stop her husband from the misconduct against them, and made the work environment, very hostile. And they said, let's see here, by screaming and using ethnically pejorative words and language. So it sounds like some racial slurs. All 4 ladies plaintiffs Also accused the Robinsons of failing to pay minimum wage or overtime wages while they were cleaning, and that they did not provide rest or lunch breaks while they were on the clock. So that, again, that's unfair business practices. Each lady wants 50 million. And here it is. They give a little bio on Smokey. He's a singer, songwriter, record producer that we know. And, he's had a long career, starting in Motown. He's a legend, all of that, all of his hit songs. And it's just crazy. I don't know if it's true or not. It's, I don't really know what to say. I don't know if what's going on with Shannon Sharpe is true or not. And I think, again, we just have to go back to having sexual discipline, women and men. Now, people can lie on you all they want, but let's try and avoid these situations as well for those that actually have engaged in activity with whomever it is, to where they even can say that, even if they are trying to lie and get something up out of you, the fact that they've actually been in the same room with you, you know, can somewhat help their case. Versus if you're not touching these individuals at all and they want to come out, and now, are they able to name a location where you all were, a text message that was sent, just something to prove that you all actually were in contact with each other. And by us having sexual discipline, those things never happen in any capacity. So, again, it's another lesson learned from Shannon Sharpe, and now you can learn from Smokey Robinson. And they're just the two most recent over the years. We've seen this. So we'll see how it plays out at trial. It's just crazy, 85-year-old Smokey Robinson in the courtroom. So, let that sink in. He's older than Bill Cosby was when Bill was accused. And Bill actually did some jail time before they allowed him to come home. So, I don't know what's going to come of this. I just wanted to cover it. Very surprising news with Mr. Robinson. It's not something you expect to hear out of him. I didn't expect to hear that, about Shannon Sharpe either. But we'll just wait to see what happens at court with both men and go from there. Again, these are just civil suits again. Shannon Sharpe called his situation a shakedown. They just want money. Do these four Jane Does just want money as well? And none of this is actually true. Again, because it's no criminal case being filed, just civil, just the money. And all five women, including Gabrielle Zuniga with Shannon, everybody is throwing out that $50 million mark. That's the dollar amount they're seeking. So just want to bring this to you guys. And Smokey Robinson, legend. A lot of people grew up on his music. A lot of people were his age while he was doing his music, so they didn't grow up with it, but they were right there as the music was coming out. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments about this situation with Mr. Robinson. Do you think it's true? Do you think Smokey is guilty? Is he innocent? How shocked are you by it? Do you think more women will come out and accuse Smokey and or Shannon Sharpe? Either one, as this year goes along, as we work our way through May. We just got into May, and now here we are. And put all of that down in the comments, what you all think. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It's Facts or Feelings, all one word, no spaces. Put that in the YouTube search, Facts or Feelings, no spaces, and my channel comes right up. And again, my YouTube email address is kriegier.mj@gmail.com. That's CREGIER period MJ at gmail.com. Send any topics you want me to discuss and send me videos that you want me to review on the channel, and I'll check all of that out as we continue to grow the channel and try and get more subscribers and just continue to cover the news out here and other topics that may just be affecting people on their day to day, and how it affects our mental health, and just how we operate with the other topics I come up with just from things that I'm thinking about, and then I just bring them to you all on video. But I'm open to discussing uh, a variety of things, and of course I'll hop on popular culture issues like this when it comes to breaking news, if it comes lawsuits, things of that nature, with public figures, and things that are shocking, and give my opinion on it. And I just don't want to report it in terms of just here it is, and like you know CNN reports it. I also like to try and dig a little deeper into why this happens, based on the individual. And again, I don't pass any judgment, because these are just, it's allegedly, it's accusations. We'll see what happens uh, as the days go on, and when this comes to trial. Just so much going on, and you just try and pick apart all of the different news stories, and at the same time also not allow yourself to be distracted by any of it, whether it be the Met Gala, sports. You can take it all in, but don't let it knock you off your square. Again, I'm going back to being sexual discipline when it comes to Shannon Sharpe and Smokey Robinson, or anybody else out there. Whatever you're engaged in with another individual, I'm talking to the ladies too, as you don't want any man coming out saying you put something in his drink and he woke up all funny, uh, things like that, and he's accusing you of something. Let's be more conscious of who we're dealing with if we're single, and then if you're not single, obviously that's not the most moral thing to do, but if that's the case, the person who you're stepping out on your significant other with doesn't deserve to be treated, you know, unfairly, sexual assault, anything like that. And if they just wrongly accuse you of that, now you're in a situation where you probably shouldn't have been messing with the person in the first place, but they do have evidence that shows that you all were in the same room together at however many times in the past. So they at least have to listen to the accuser's side and just drag your name through the mud, even if it is a lie, just because you have had interactions with that individual. So again, it goes back to the discipline, sexually disciplined for both women and men, to try and avoid some of these things. So we'll see what happens with Smokey Robinson and Shannon Sharpe. You know, these accusations and the legal fees, cost so much money if you get hit with them, in terms of, money just lost, that, that would just upset me. I'm being accused of this. I'm innocent, but I've still spent over $1 million on lawyers. That money could have been invested elsewhere, and, I could have made more money instead of shelling money out for my defense. I heard Jay-Z spent 20 million dealing with his lawyers for the whole Tony Busby, and they accused him and Puff Daddy of that situation with the 13-year-old who's autistic. I think she's an adult now, and they wouldn't reveal her name. But even just how much you got to pay to clear your name when you're innocent, you really just don't want the label. No one just wants that, even that title even put on them of being accused of sexual assault, things like that. You hate to get that title on you. And so again, we just have to go back to watching where we're at, being more disciplined, so people wouldn't even think to fix their lips to even put that label on you. Because these things start to grow legs, I think, only because the people being accused, do know the people. They have interactions. They got text messages. So uh, the justice system at least has to hear their case because they do know you. You all have been face to face, and maybe you shouldn't have. So you have to keep learning from all of these incidents, these accusations. I know I do, in terms of just how to move and just making sure you stay disciplined in all areas as much as you can. Sexually disciplined and, financially disciplined, just being disciplined in general. And hopefully, just try and surround yourself with people who are disciplined as well and not trying to take advantage of you or do a money grab if that's what this is, with them just being civil suits on Shannon Sharp and Smokey Robinson. No criminal. So we'll see who's telling the truth, as this year goes along. But I'm out for now, and stay disciplined. That's it.